at 6 Myrtle Ave in Fitchburg.
Well, we're going to be talking to Adam Willoughby, owner of the new and improved Moran Square Diner.
She's Alice Cardinale.
He's David Genesi.
And this is Forks Over Fitchburg.
We're here at Moran Square Diner with owner Brittany Willoughby and Adam, husband, chef extraordinaire. Thank you so much for having us here today. It's a real treat.
Thanks for coming in.
So we were talking off camera a little bit, and before we get into Moran Square Diner, we need to learn first about Adam and Brittany Willoughby, husband and wife. Now, we just learned that, Brittany, you are a Lemonsterite, born and raised, and Adam, you are a Fitchburger, born and raised.
Yep.
And I'm getting Romeo and Juliet vibes. Is this how it happened? Let the viewers know.
So we met about 7.5 years ago. I had been moving back from the New Bedford area where I had gone to school, and I had been doing some cooking down there. And an old high school friend of mine I was reconnecting with introduced me to Brittany, and I just thought she was the coolest. And I asked her out and for a caffeinated beverage because I didn't know if she liked coffee or tea, and she said, no thank you.
Oh, really?
And I just knew that I wanted to be her friend even. I just wanted to get to know her. I knew she was a photographer. She was incredibly smart and talented, and I was just so impressed. I'm like, I need to be in this person's life in some way.
Oh, that's sweet. Love it.
So, the moral of the story is Brittany played hard to get.
Yes.
Smart. Love it.
You must have years of experience working in the culinary arts field. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so I went to school for music, and I got a job at a pizza shop near the university because I just needed some money to pay rent. And I started off cooking French fries and chicken fingers, and in about 4 years' time I moved my way up till I was running the place, and I realized I really just loved cooking. And I had a friend who worked in Boston who was doing fine dining, and they had an opening in their kitchen, to which I was grossly underqualified for, and I just talked my way into that job and said, yep, I can do it, and was just throwing myself into the deep end. And that's pretty much every job I've taken. I find a job that's way over my head and just make myself do it.
That's great,
Awesome.
though. I mean, what an initiative it takes. And just from talking to you today, I can absolutely see you talking your way into a job. I mean, the passion is there. You can tell.
So I'm the owner of Moran Square Diner. I'm running the front end of stuff, but also working on the menu with Adam, coming up with different specials, if you will. I went to school for photography, so I've done a lot of the social media aspect of things. But I've also pretty much only worked in the food industry my entire life. Started working out at Friendly's just as fountain, and worked at El Camino as a server. I've seated people, I've done takeout, I've done salad. Kind of a little bit of everything, a few different places.
Which has gotten you prepared for
Yeah,
being
exactly.
the owner.
And then I worked as garde at Woods Hill Table in West Concord, along with Adam. We worked together. So I've kind of gotten a good idea of the sense of front of house and back of house, which I think is really important as an owner to kind of understand everyone's roles and how they all work together.
So when you go home at night and it's dinner time, who's doing the cooking?
It depends. I think we take turns.
Yeah.
Sometimes we cook together, but
Last night,
We cook together. How nice.
I like that. Yeah.
it goes okay. Last night, Brittany made this amazing pumpkin beer chili with creme fraiche, and my contribution was white rice.
Yeah.
And it's, as much as I might be the chef here, she puts just as much work into the menu as I do. She has just as much creative control. We certainly argue about things, but she has a very good mind for those things and a much better palate than mine.
You were saying to us off camera about this concept of elevated diner food. And I know Alex and I are going to be seeing that a little bit later, but can you speak to what does elevated diner food mean to everyone watching?
So elevated diner food is, we have our classics. We have potatoes, eggs, and bacon. We have eggs Benedict. We have pancakes, chicken and waffles, biscuits and gravy. Dishes that are humble in origin, easily accessible, delicious, that everyone can enjoy. but with attention to detail every step along the way, rather than just buying biscuits or buying gravy or shipping in outside things. Wherever we can do ourselves and give as much care and attention to detail and elevate it to a point of art, as you say. I view what I do here not as art, but a craft. I'm honored anytime someone calls it art, but it's a craft that every time I try to make it a little better. It's never going to be perfect. Every day we strive for perfection, and every day we will fall short. But every day is also a new day and a new chance to try again.
So what message would you give to those that were fans of the Moran Square of yesterday? What would you tell them to make them come here?
I think we're doing something a little different, but we're still focusing on good food, hot food, with an emphasis on flavor first, affordability, getting a good breakfast. It's not going to be the old Moran Square, but it's not a slap in the face to the former owners. We're taking the baton of the great work done before us and just trying to, like you said, elevate it more. We're trying to bring it up and focus on the ingredients, the farmers, the delivery people, everyone else in the mix. Mm-hmm. So it'll still be a good breakfast, it'll still be the same atmosphere, and it'll be our bright, shiny faces.
Yeah, it's nice how you're taking it. You truly are getting it from every angle here. You have the folks who come in the door that they want to eat, they want to have a nice meal, but you also mentioned, the folks who work for you, the delivery people, like you're no stone unturned, because it really, they say it takes a village to raise a child. It's almost kind of the same with your business, right? It takes a village, and I love that you acknowledge really everybody in that village. That's very important. That helps build that sense of community here.
I would also say, we're taking kind of what it was before and trying to make it accessible to more people.
Totally.
I think before, as far as I can remember, there weren't vegan options, there weren't gluten-free options. I think that's something really important and every day now, that there's a lot of people that can't go out to eat because they don't have these options. And as we're inclusive with the people that we want to come here, the people we want to represent for the plaques, we also want to be inclusive of the community, that the Moran Square Diner really, it is a place for everyone to come, and we don't want to leave anyone out.
It's awesome. One of the things I wanted to mention is this stunning patio that you guys installed when you took it over. And people have been driving by, and those that knew we were filming here, you got to ask about the patio, you got to ask about the patio. And it's beautiful. I haven't seen it up close until I came here today. Let's talk about it a little bit.
For sure. I got the inspiration from it from a place on the Cape. We were on vacation last summer in Brewster, and we went to this coffee roaster, Snowy Owl, and they had these beautiful planters outside with old railroad ties. And they had kale and all sorts of vegetation growing there. And I just thought, I'm stealing that. That's mine now. And it was so beautiful. And so I thought, okay, well, we can fit 32 people inside. How can we build out, how we can give a space even for people to wait if they're waiting on a table? We have benches out there. So I have a little bit of woodworking history in my past. So I decided to build the planters. And I had never laid brick before, but I thought, wow, brick would look nice, so I decided to lay the brick. And I thought, well, it would be nice to have mixed media, maybe we should have a deck, and so I decided to build a deck. And just one thing led to another, and the process evolved, and we changed our minds, and we ended up coming up with this beautiful finished product.
See, now you just played your hand, because now what's going to happen is Brittany's going to say, I think we need a new deck at our house. It's going to end up happening.
Yeah.
So you just opened up a can of worms, my friend. But it's beautiful. And
it's a smart move. I mean, especially these days too, right? A
Yeah.
lot of people have really come to love and almost expect an outdoor dining option, and that's a really smart move.
So just going back to really the leap of faith, becoming business owners in your own right, because you are, and it's a real leap of faith. It's no easy feat being a business owner, as you guys know.
So I grew up coming to the diner a lot with my family. My grandparents are actually best friends with the owner's parents, sorry, not grandparents. So really it was like a place I always came with my family, like every weekend, sometimes after church on Sundays, our whole family would come in. I would see the owners and they would ask me how my family was when I came in. Just a place I always grew up coming, and I knew it was really important to the community. I mean, we came from Leominster here just to eat. We didn't really go to that many other places around, but this was like a really special place to us. And then eventually me and Adam, when we started dating, we started coming down, and it became kind of a tradition for us, like would come down and every once in a while would get breakfast and would race to find the man in the coffee news.
So cute. Yeah.
It's just a really special place to us.
So Moran Square has an emotional tie
Yeah,
to your
of
history.
course.
And for both of us, my grandfather, who had started O'Neill's Bicycle Shop, which my parents now run in Gardner, right over, one street over where the new engineered wood building is, right next to the old Store 24, that was his bike shop up until the mid-90s. And I have memories of walking through Moran Square with my grandmother to go put pennies on the train tracks and visit my grandfather and ride my bike down the street. It's my stomping grounds. It's the prodigal son returns.
Oh, that's wonderful, though. And that's what Fitchburg needs. It really is, now more than ever. You have the ties, you have the passion.
And how has Fitchburg been working with them in this process?
So amazing. It's funny, often a lot of times we talk to people who pass by and they say, oh, the city must be giving you a hard time. If anything, I could say it's nothing but the opposite. Whenever we have to file for permits or ask for help from the city or any kind of work, they take our phone calls immediately. They do their best to expedite everything for us. And it's been nothing but a joy working with the city. I've been so thrilled. We had a great meeting with the mayor, and he was nothing but thrilled for the outdoor dining and whatever he could do to help. Can't say enough good things about the city, and I'm so proud to be a part of the city and to be a new business in it.
Love hearing that.
And he loves a good breakfast sandwich.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I have it on good authority. He loves a
And
good
you know who
breakfast
else loves a
sandwich.
good breakfast sandwich?
Me.
I do.
Oh, you too.
You too?
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
excellent. So next up, Adam, you're going to take Nate into the kitchen. You're going to whip us up something special. You want to tell us what we're having? You want to give us let us in on the secret?
For sure. I'm going to send you two different dishes. Because you mentioned the breakfast sandwich, I've got something I think that's going to hit the spot for you with some special ingredients.
Can't wait.
And we can talk about that. And then I have one of my specialty dishes, which is a brioche French toast featuring orange zest, cardamom, vanilla, and cinnamon.
Awesome. Well, you know
I'm
what they
ready.
say, Alex? If it's meant to be, it's Willoughby.
We heard that somewhere, I think.
We did hear that
Someone
somewhere.
told us about that little saying. We thought it was so cool.
Brittany, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And I know Adam's going to be showcasing the food. He really wants to focus in on the art that's going to be sitting in front of us. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks, Adam.
Of course.
Thank you.
Today we're going to make our signature breakfast sandwich. So we're going to be featuring bacon from North Country Smokehouse. This is their uncured, sugar-free applewood smoked bacon. We're going to be using a bagel from One Mighty Mill in Lynn, Massachusetts, featuring freshly milled flour. We have a local pasture-raised organic egg and cheese from Jasper Hill. This is their Vault number 5 cheddar. So we're going to start by throwing some bacon down, getting it warm on the flat top. We're going to take our bagel and throw it right in the toaster oven. Now I'm going to move over to the burner. And we're going to take some clarified butter, which is dairy-free, right in the pan. And pop our egg right in. Now what I'm cooking with here is an induction burner. This is all electric cooking here in the kitchen, but this specifically heats the pan with magnets, thus creating less overflow heat, less waste. The second the pan comes off, it stops cooking, and we're just creating vibrations into the pan to create nice, fast heat. And it actually gets hotter faster than gas. I'm going to season my egg with a little bit of kosher salt. Now what I like about kosher salt is just salt, sodium chloride, no iodine, and they're large crystals, so they're able to easily be manipulated, and I can control how much I need to use. Okay, we're going to give this a little flip, and just a little bit more salt right on this side. The goal of salt is not to make food taste salty, but it's to increase electrical activity in the mouth and allow us to taste the flavors a lot more clearly. Okay, we're going to pull our bread out of the oven. Got it nice and toasted. I'm going to come over here. First thing I'm going to do is find my bottom. Get it nice and pressed down. I'm gonna melt some nice cheese right on top of this meat. Then it's gonna go right back into the oven. I'm just gonna fold that up nicely so it fits snug right on the sandwich. I'm gonna prep the top of my bun with some Kewpie mayonnaise. Okay, coming out of the oven now. Nice melted cheese. Right onto the plate, that's hot. Okay, and now we're gonna slide our egg ever so gently right onto the sandwich. Next thing, I'm gonna add a little fresh cracked black pepper. We're gonna serve it just like that. So this is the breakfast sandwich from the Moran Square Diner, featuring bacon, egg, Jasper Hill cheese, and One Mighty Mill bagels. All for $8.
Can't get enough Forks Over Fitchburg? Be sure to like our Facebook page for additional content and news on future episodes. You just never know where we'll be heading next. Motto, Alex.
Maroon indeed.
You know, we gotta.
This is not a breakfast I'm used to seeing when I go
No,
out.
this we talked about this earlier in the episode, but this is elevated diner food at its finest. So I know everyone watching just saw Adam in the kitchen taking us through. But Adam, briefly tell us right now, what goodness do we have in front of us?
So we have our Moran Square Diner breakfast sandwich, which is on bagels from One Mighty Mill, which is a mill from Massachusetts using freshly milled flour. And on top of that, we have North Country Smokehouse bacon from New Hampshire, which is uncured and sugar-free with applewood bacon, applewood smoked. Then we have a farm fresh egg, cheese from Vermont grated on top, salt, pepper, and Kewpie mayonnaise from Japan.
And then we gotta acknowledge this mammoth French toast that's in front of us.
Yep.
Tell us, what is this?
So this is our brioche French toast. The brioche, the flour comes from One Mighty Mill as well. I bake the brioche here. It's about a 3-day process of 1 day making the dough, letting it rest, baking it, and then overnight soaking in a creme anglaise with spices and sugar. And then I have a triple berry compote with St. Germain's elderflower liqueur and orange juice and a little bit of vanilla, mulling spices, and a little bit of sugar just so it's a little tart, and just salt.
Wow.
Fantastic. I mean, the side, and this is your normal serving.
Yes.
Yeah, that's huge.
So for the people watching, this is going to be on the everyday menu here at Moran Square, and I can't wait. I'm excited.
I mean, I can't wait much longer, personally.
So is that our cue? Are we ready,
I think
Alex?
it is. I gotta put the napkin on my lap. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, I was raised with mayonnaise.
As the viewers know, we're not the most demure when it comes to eating. We spill a lot, so
Hey,
please excuse us as we
it's
get
for
these
the
napkins.
art. It's for the art. So now, is it normally served like this with the egg runny, unless
Yes.
otherwise requested? Or
Yes.
yeah, gotcha. Very good. Okay, I'm very excited about this.
I like being able to have the person put the sandwich together themselves, see the egg, break the yolk themselves.
Yeah, and I love that. I personally like when an egg is.
And consider the yolk broken.
Because look at that. I mean, if you can see that.
You know what? I always let Alex
Woo!
take the first bite, so Alex, please.
Such
ladies
a
first.
gentleman, yes. That mayo is what I get that first.
Yep.
She was hyped about the mayo. She said
I
to me
was.
off
I mean,
camera, she said that mayo.
How often do you get to treat yourself to mayonnaise from Japan? I mean, I don't recall a time I've done
Yeah,
that.
so talk about the mayo a little bit now. This is specialty order mayo.
Yep, we get through our normal suppliers, but it's called Kewpie mayonnaise, K-E-W-P-I-E. It's actually named after a little baby doll, the Kewpie doll. And it's made with whole egg yolk rather than the entire egg, soybean oil, rice wine vinegar, and everybody's favorite ingredient, monosodium glutamate, or MSG.
You know, and the other thing you get sometimes when you order a breakfast sandwich, specifically on a bagel, it can be under toasted, can be over toasted. You know, you shred the roof of your mouth. This is perfect. It's got a nice amount of crisp, but it's still soft, so you don't feel like you're going to shred your mouth at all. The bacon is so good. And that's another thing you got to know. You got to cook bacon right on a sandwich, and this is perfect. It's like again, just the right amount of crisp and chew.
The bacon's
Perfect.
fantastic.
Yeah.
But I can see that mayo.
Yeah.
That's the knockout of the sandwich.
It's fantastic.
That mayo is great.
And I think having the egg runny as opposed to just like a hard fry, I think that adds another element because it makes it silky. You've got another kind of like texture in your mouth, but it also, I think the flavor is just different. You get more flavor.
So Alex, are we ready to address the elephant in the room?
Yeah, are you kidding me?
So I guess we can
Just dive right in.
just cut into it.
Yep,
Right,
right
Adam?
in. If you'd like some butter, we have sea salted butter right here and Hollis Hills maple syrup.
Representing Hollis Hills.
Well, we have to acknowledge Hollis Hills and maybe
Yeah.
throw some syrup on there. Now,
Yeah.
do you recommend we also do the butter? What does chef recommend? What do we do?
I love lots of butter, lots of syrup, lots of compote. Mix it all
All of it.
together. Let it all meld and
Okay. Alex,
Create a
would you
party
like
of
to
flavors.
slather some butter up on there?
Sure.
Slather it
Why
up.
did that sound? That did not sound above board. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on now.
Way to bring it into the
So
gutter.
this should be noted. The salt was, you put it on the butter yourself. You sprinkled that on yourself. So this didn't come this way. You took that extra step. I mean, the amount of the attention to detail here really is, I mean, you can't ignore it.
Well, again,
And it shouldn't be ignored.
it's the whole term elevated diner food, which I think is
Yeah.
something not many are doing in this
No.
industry. When you go to a diner, you're expecting a certain experience, your classics,
Right.
your 2 eggs and toast, your sausage, your bacon. And whereas you do have that, you take things a step further, and as you say, you elevate them.
yes.
So can you talk about, while we, get this all settled and under control, can you talk about some of the other offerings that are on Moran Square's new diner menu?
Yep. So we're gonna have what you normally find as Sunday classics. We have an eggs Benedict, we have chicken and waffles, biscuits and gravy, and then we, like you mentioned, we have our 2 eggs, bacon, toast. We also make our own sausage.
Oh, great.
And a lot of these offerings will have vegan, gluten-free, and dairy-free alternatives available. A lot of times, we had someone do some menu testing the other day, and they said, I have a gluten allergy, and we do gluten-free pancakes. And they said, these are the best pancakes I've ever had. And you would never guess they're gluten-free. Oftentimes, with gluten-free, vegan, you're making a compromise. And we feel like that food should be just as good. If anything, that someone who might be able to eat gluten would still want to have the gluten-free. Someone who does eat meat would want to have the vegan chicken, would want to have the vegan English muffins, anything like that.
It's awesome.
Good food's good food. I mean, flat out, straight up. Like, if it tastes good, it tastes good.
And you know what? They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I've always believed that to be true.
And more importantly, we're ready to dig into this finally.
I am. Well, so you want
Took
me
a few
to?
minutes to set up, but we
Do you
got
want me
there.
to cut it, or do you want to cut your
You do
own?
the
Like,
honors.
or how are we doing this?
Just
I'll go
yeah.
right down the middle
Go
here.
right down the middle.
Wow. Okay. So just from sticking the fork in, I can tell it's nice and dense.
So I know you talked about this. You make this bread from scratch.
Yes.
All right. I really feel like it's important to kind of just. I need to. I don't know how well everyone can see
Oh,
it,
the
but
smell. It's
you can see the cinnamon inside in the
Yes.
toast. It's dense, but there's a nice crisp on the outside, nice crust, and I think the compote too. I mean, because you go somewhere, you get your French toast, and it's probably toast out of a bag, just your from a grocery store, maybe some frozen berries thrown on top, or even fresh. Maybe some places do fresh, but again, the compote is. It's got to be noted. It's got to be noted. And the mulling spices, that's a nice touch. That's a real nice touch.
the aroma of spices.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So the outside is a little on the harder side, and on the inside, it's nice and soft. And
This is perfect.
yeah,
You get the orange right away. That's what I did anyways, which is so nice. And then the compote is not that sweet. It's got more of the tartness, which I think, especially if you're going to throw real maple syrup, because it should be noted, Hollis Hills maple syrup is the real deal. So it's cutting through that sweetness. It's perfect.
Thank you so much.
You said
Now-
you have a passion for food. All you care about is food.
Yes.
This says that right there. You don't even have to say it. You can tell. It's
well, I can
outstanding.
tell you that is very filling. I mean, 2 people could tackle that and be stuffed.
Just this one half alone. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is outstanding.
So I ask everyone this, Adam. What's your favorite dish? I know everything on the menu is your favorite, but you must have a personal favorite thing that you make.
For me, it's the breakfast sandwich. It's got everything going on. It's got bread, eggs, bacon, the mayonnaise. It's easy to eat on the go, often in the kitchen. You don't have much time to eat. I don't very much eat during the day sometimes just because I don't have time. Or you're in our industry, we're often eating over a trash can in the back for 2 seconds before jumping into the rest of our 18-hour day.
So here at the Moran Square Diner, you're not breakfast only. You offer lunch as well. Can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about some of the things you're doing for lunch?
So we're trying to stick with diner classics. We're going to be offering a meatloaf. Instead of mashed potatoes, we do a pomme puree, which is sort of a kind of a Frenchy upscale version in the style of Joel Robuchon. We also have fried chicken sandwiches, smash burgers. We'll offer a seasonal soup. But one of my favorite things to do is fresh pasta. So I actually make all the sauce from scratch and I extrude the pasta myself.
Alex,
I mean, we're coming back. We have to now.
for the homemade pasta.
I mean, come on. And I want to just say, I can't say this enough. I'm probably going to say this a million times. The fact that you have invested in the city of Fitchburg with this level of quality, I am so blown away by that. I'm so excited about that. That is, I mean, you're hitting the nail on the head of what we need and what deserves to be here too. You know, this is the kind of food that is going to bring people from miles away, and it should. And it's just very exciting to see, especially right here in downtown.
So, Adam, anything else you'd like to cover here?
Not really. I like to let the food speak for itself. As much as I like to talk, I like to just be in the back and cook and let people enjoy and come out and say hi when I can. But that's the point, is to feed people and let the food do its job.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, I had a fantastic time. I don't know about you.
I mean, with this elevated level of
This
food, I don't know who
elevated
couldn't have a good time
dining
here.
experience,
Oh.
and we've certainly got our work cut out for us.
Oh, I'm
And
ready.
for the folks knowing, we do our damage off camera. We don't do it.
No, yes, that's true.
So, Adam, I want to thank you again. I want to thank your wife, Brittany, again for joining us. This has been fantastic. We couldn't be more grateful for what you provided us here today. Now, where can the folks go if they want to learn more information about Moran Square?
So we have a website. It's thetiny.restaurant.com. And we also have a Facebook page where you can see more posts every week of different menu items we're going to be offering. Our menu will be changing, adding specials almost every week. And you can see my wife's photography on Instagram.
Excellent, excellent. Adam, thanks again. This has been fantastic. And we're going to leave our viewers the way we always leave our viewers. And that is to always remember that there's life, liberty.
And the prosciutto of happiness.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.